First off, it's all about the U. Today in the fourth part of the 12-part series of our 2010 opponents, we'll now get into ACC play. The first opponent in conference play is the Clemson Tigers on October 2nd up in Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina. Some background on the Tigers. They went 9-5 last season, 6-2 in the ACC Atlantic, losing the ACC title game in Tampa to Georgia Tech, but ending with a Music City Bowl win over Kentucky and Nashville 21-13 to give them positive momentum going into the season. This year, the expectations the Tiger fans have is to win the ACC title. However, this year there are going to be a lot of changes up in the upstate of South Carolina, namely on offense. Graduation decimated this core. 64% of their production from last season is gone either to the NFL or to graduation. Of course, the big one is C.J. Spiller. I mean, that was the most electrifying play I think Clemson's ever had in a long time. I got to go back to the days of Homer Jordan to find a player that explosive. They also lost Jacoby Ford, Michael Palmer, Rendrick Taylor, and Darrell Berry. The O-line took a hit as well to graduation. They lose starter Thomas Austin, as well as backups Corey Lambert and Jamarcus Grant. But they will return 4 starters from last year, and they do return a stud in Chris Hairston at left tackle and Mason Clay, who will move to guard from center this year. And he has been a starter in the past, so they don't lose a lot there, but they do take a hit there. The question mark at quarterback's been answered. Kyle Parker will be back after flirting with baseball and being drafted by the Colorado Rockies. He decided to come back because after Parker, the drop off there is significant with Taj Boyd, a redshirt freshman. Now they also return on offense Jamie Harper and Andre Ellington, 2 good running backs there. However, they're very weak at wide receiver, where graduation took a bite out of the depth, namely, of course, losing Ford to name one. They do return a bona fide tight end and a stud tight end in Dwayne Allen, but other than that, losing Ford's not going to be easy. Xavier Dye, Marquand Jones, and Terrence Ash are nowhere near the receiver Ford was and the explosiveness that Ford had. The receiving core will take their lumps this year. They will take their lumps. Defensively, they will also have big holes to fill here as well. On the D-line, that was the strength of their defense. They lose Ricky Sapp and Kevin Alexander, but they do get back Bowers, Jarvis Jenkins, and Brandon Thompson. At linebacker, they lose Cavell Connor, but they do return Brandon May on the strong side, and they have a middle linebacker that their staff and their fans are very excited about, and they're expecting big things out of in 2010, and that's Corrico Hawkins. The secondary took the biggest hit on the defensive side for graduation. Chris Chancellor, Crazadon Butler need to be replaced, and that won't be an easy task for Dabo to try and do. They do return DeAndre McDaniel, though, and Marcus Gilchrist will move back the corner from free safety, where he started the last 2 years. Now, overall, their defense is going to try to get some questions answered in 2010. They're going to try to find their way, but we'll know about them when they go to Auburn September 18th. So there'll be some questions answered there. Now, Clemson's coached by Dabo Swinney, who will be in his 3rd year at Clemson, his 2nd full season as the head coach up in the South Carolina upstate. His overall record's 13-8, and his teams have shown they will play hard, and we found that out last year. Can they take that next step with so many losses to graduation? Think not. I predict a 7-5 season for the Tigers in 2010 just because it's such a young team, and you just don't replace 64% of your 2009 offensive production overnight. Sorry, TJ. I know TJ is a friend of ours that I had to mention. My nephews wanted me to mention, so I'm doing that. And he goes to Clemson, so basically they wanted me to get that in. So, sorry, TJ. 7-5 for Clemson in 2010. Just because it's such a young team, and you don't, like I said, you don't replace 64% of your offensive production overnight. From a CANES perspective, this is the conference opener. It's the good part about it is we'll have 9 days to prepare after that Thursday night game up in Pittsburgh, and it's the final game of a 3-game stretch on the road. This is a team that beat us last year at Sun Life Stadium in overtime. Really, in a game we had no business losing. Okay. In the past few years, I know it's been close. We've had some battles with them. The last time we were up there was the triple overtime game that we won. However, this year, I don't think it's going to be close at all. I think we just have too many weapons for Clemson this year, and it's a payback game for the loss of Sun Life last year. To add to the fact that this loss last year cost us a BCS at large game, there's no way we're gonna let our foot off the gas this time when we get a lead. We get a lead, we're just gonna keep it going. We're just gonna beat the hell out of them this year. I just really believe Clemson really doesn't have. They're just so young. We're gonna get them in our opener in the conference. We're gonna be clicking on all cylinders going up there, and I believe we beat the Tigers easily, and I mean easily in 2010. I say CANES by 21 in Death Valley on October 2nd. Now tomorrow, we're going to preview our biggest rival when we come back home October 9th, and that would be the Florida State Seminoles. And we'll see how year one AB after Bobby will turn out in Tallahassee. See you then, and as always, go Canes.